Hello. I decided to make a video on long division because I had a request for one, but also in our textbook, we don't exactly have this exact strategy. So it's slightly different in the textbook. So I'm going to do a separate video just for long division. So this is the division that I was taught in school and that most of your parents were taught in school. So I'm going to just do a few examples. And the reason I'm showing you this, I know like your parents probably know this one better, but also it is a really fast way to divide. Even though it's called long division, it really is quick. So let's do an example here to start. And you may not understand it right away, but it gets easier with practice. So here we have an example, 94 divided by 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to just look at the first digit and we're going to see how many groups of 4 can we make out of 9. So if you think of if you have 9 things, how many groups of 4 can you make? Well, you can make 4, 8. So you can make 2 groups of 4. Okay, so you're going to put 2 up above your 9. Now, you're going to multiply 2 times 4, and that will give you 8. And that goes right below your 9. Okay, so when we say 8, we can see that that's how many are used up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, when we make our 2 groups of 4, we have 8 gone, and there is 1 left over. So that's our next step. Now we're going to subtract 9 minus 8, okay, which is 1. So that's 1 left over. Now we're going to bring down that 4, the second digit, and now we're looking at 14, okay? I'm just going to erase that because I don't want it to get in the way. But 14, now we have 14 things. That's 14, okay? Normally you don't draw when you're doing this. It's just I want you to understand why we're doing these steps. Now, how many groups of 4 can we make out of 14 things? So let's see. 1 group of 4, 2, 3. That's all we can make, 3. So we're going to put 3 up above our second digit, up above the 4. And just like before, we're going to multiply now 3 times 4, which is 12. And you can see that if I counted off these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's how many I have used, but there's still 2 left over. And that's the next part. Of course, we're going to subtract 14 minus 12. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 1 minus 1 is nothing. So I don't even have to put a 0 there. I can, but I don't have to. Now that we have 2, if I drew 2 things there, 2 counters, can I possibly make a group of 4 out of 2? No, that's impossible. I only have 2. I can't make a group of 4. So that means I'm finished, okay? So that's actually my remainder. So I'm going to put an R next to that. So you can also put up on top 23 remainder of 2. Okay, so that's your answer. So it is a little bit complicated. You do have to memorize the steps. Okay, so the first step is to divide. So we divided 9 by 4 and we got 2. So then we had to multiply 2 times 4. Then we had to subtract 9 minus 8. And finally, we had to bring down the next digit. So those are the steps that you need to memorize. You're going to keep repeating those steps until you run out of counters, right? If you were doing it as a picture. So DMSB. Does McDonald's serve burgers? That's how you can remember that, okay? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Does McDonald's serve burgers? So I'm going to do another example. I'll get a clean page here. Let's see. Let's try 65 divided by 3. So Does McDonald's serve burgers? So the first step is to divide. So you're going to look at your first digit, which is a 6. Okay, I'm just going to circle it so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's divide 6 by 3. 6 divided by 3. How many groups of 3 can we make if we have 6 counters? We can make 2. So we're going to put our 2 up on top of our 6, okay? Now the next step is multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times 3, which equals 6. That goes underneath our digit, underneath our 6. Okay, the next step is subtract. So we're going to subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. And the last step, does McDonald's serve burgers? B stands for bring down. So we're going to bring our 5 down next to our 0. Okay, now we're not done because we have 5 and we're making groups of 3. So we still have enough left to make some more groups of 3. So we're going to do our process over again. We're going to start with divide. So 5 divided by 3. That means how many groups of 3 can I make if I have 5 counters? And I can only make one group of 3. So that's going to go above my 5. 1. Now I'm going on to multiply. So 1 times 3 is 3. Then I go to subtract. 5 minus 3. Don't worry about the 0 because that doesn't mean anything. 5 minus 3 is 2. And finally, bring down. Well, there isn't anything left to bring down. There's nothing over here, right? So we don't need to bring anything down. So we look at our 2. We cannot make a group of 3 when we only have 2. So that is our remainder. So I'm going to write my remainder up on top. And my answer is 21 with a remainder of 2. I'll do one more example. And I'll just do it a little faster this time so you can see how easily it can be done once you memorize the steps. Okay, so let's see. Let's try 57 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down my 7. 17 divided by 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 17 minus 16 is 1. I have nothing left to bring down. I have nothing left to make a group of 4 out of. That is my remainder. So I have 14 with a remainder of 1. So it is actually a really fast way to divide once you memorize the steps. I will be doing a few more lessons with strategies from the textbook, but I wanted to show you the more traditional way that most people do it in case that's something that you'd like to try.